Hello, everybody. We are live in the studio. I'm your host, Marissa Lowen with Create the Rules Live. This is our first talk show from our new stage, and I'm so excited to be joined with Catalyst members Kelly Stegmann and Michelle Clinard. Kelly, Michelle, welcome. I can't wait to talk about your upcoming January workshop. But first, why don't you introduce yourself? Kelly, do you want to go first?
Sure. I am Kelly Stegmann. I am the owner and founder of the Boho Witchery, where I focus all of my gifts from the universe into creating magical lives for everyone. I am all about everyday magic and bringing magic into the mundane. I believe everybody has magic inside them, and it is my life's work to bring that out of everyone.
Great. Michelle, introduce yourself, please.
Sure. I'm Michelle Clinard, and I am the owner and founder of the Self-Healing Support Membership, and I support self-healing and self-care so that it can be sustainable and effective.
Amazing.
And I also love Kelly's work. I'm a huge fan, and her approach and the way she sees magic and everything, even the mundane, it really resonates with me, and I think that's kind of how this little collaboration came about.
I'm actually curious how this collaboration came about, but we'll get into that. First, I want you to tell me about the upcoming workshop. Kelly, what is this manifestation workshop all about?
Okay, so we have all heard about The Secret. We all know the law of attraction and to be positive and to be grateful, and it brings all kinds of wonderful stuff into your life. But in reality, that is hard to do. It's hard to do on a day-to-day basis, every single minute of every single day. And it also doesn't take into account that there are 11 other laws in the universal laws of the universe that have to be taken into account. There are our limiting beliefs that have to be taken into account. And there's the fact that you can't just wish upon a star and sit back and do nothing. You have to take action steps, intentional action towards reaching your goals and your dreams. And it's trying to pull all of this together in a practical way. I have been inundated on social media and in my email with all kinds of courses and, 18-month programs to learn how to manifest.
18 months.
Ridiculous. Like, who's got a year and a half to make their dreams come true?
We can go get our master's in, clinical psychology.
Right? And you're pouring money and money and money like over and over again into taking all of these courses. And I've taken quite a few of them because, who's not interested in learning how to manifest their dream life? But they all kind of say the same thing. They all genuinely tend to go back to the same principles that The Secret taught us 20 years ago. And they're all not always practical to do on a day-to-day basis.
What do you mean they're not practical? Give me an example. What's not practical to you?
Not practical. Okay, so just not practical is being positive all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be happy all the time. And then on the flip side, just because you have one bad day, it doesn't wipe out all the positive days that you do have.
That's right.
My biggest problem with The Secret is that you've brought the misery into your life. And
yes.
I don't believe that children get sick because their parents had a negative attitude. Like, to me, that I just don't agree with that whole philosophy.
Yeah, that stuff's it's kind of a downer. It's like if you have like one bad thought, this is why something else bad happened to you. And it's just like, what? I can't, what?
Yeah.
I stub my toe a lot. So that would mean that there was a lot of negative things happening in my life, and it's just not true.
And you don't get into a car crash because, you had bad thoughts for a day.
That's
I don't think it works like that. So my main goal for this workshop was to take all that information that I've learned in all these courses and classes and, one day seminars that I've taken over the course of the last 20 years and put it into practical bite-sized steps that everybody can do every day to really make those small changes that have to happen in order to manifest the bigger things that you want in your life.
Cool. So
You have to start small. You can't start with the $1 billion. You got to start with the $10.
okay, we're going to go into them more later. So I want to know, how did you and Michelle decide to do a workshop together on manifestation?
Michelle actually reached out to me, so I'll turn it over to her for a view.
Just getting to know Kelly inside the Create the Rules Catalyst, I really resonate with her practical approach. I also take a very practical approach. I don't have time every day to set it. I mean, I value self-care, for instance, but like setting aside a half an hour every day with my schedule is absolutely impossible. So expecting everybody to do that when we're also expected to be everything to everyone and do all the things is just, it's unrealistic. It's not real life. So that's my approach to self-care. And I too have, like, when Kelly started talking about this manifestation basics, I was so intrigued. Like, I'm like, I think you're going to have a very similar approach to that as I do. So I reached out so we could have a conversation about it and explain why I thought, I might actually have something to add, because knowing that Kelly works with magic, I mean, that's a little bit of a non-physical approach. And my approach is a little bit more physical, more body focused. And my experience with manifestation is basically that whole, blame game, everything that Kelly just talked about. Like, if you're not manifesting, you're doing it wrong, kind of a thing. And like, manifest this magic, manifest your wildest dreams in a day, kind of a thing. And it really, my clients that I work with and myself, we have all experienced something in common, which is it doesn't seem to work for us. For instance, the secret approach to manifesting, because it leaves people feeling like they're doing something wrong, like manifestation is out of the realm of their ability. It's kind of a blame game. It's like, It's your own fault if you're not doing it. And that, especially understanding the nervous system and how that works and how it shapes our action, no matter how much action we're taking toward our dreams, if we keep hitting those stumbling blocks, there's a real physical reason that we can't see. It's invisible, but it's very real. And when we bring that into our magical practices, I believe human beings have so much magic in them, but it's hard to see it when we keep hitting a brick wall. It's hard to keep it in focus. We start to lose sight of it. So I really think that bringing in a very
real
life. Exactly. Like Kelly's bringing the practice and a very practical one. And I'm going, and if you're still struggling, let's look deeper. Let's look at a more physical, tangible thing that you can do to support making it happen.
I think it's interesting when you talk about shame, because I once did a coaching program and we had to read Napoleon Hill's, whatever that book's called. Anyways, then we were supposed to come up with our statement, right? Like, you're supposed to read it and he doesn't ever tell you what the actual thing is, but you're supposed to just know after you read this book. And then we were supposed to come up with this statement of what we were manifesting or creating or whatever the spiel was. Anyways, we went around this room of like 50 folks, and, people would stand up with their statement and she'd be like, how are you guys not getting this? Did you not read the book? And I was like, do you even know do you know how we're supposed to be, putting these manifestation statements together? And it was just so filled with shame. And then I realized that later on, it was how she could absolutely remove herself from any responsibility towards her own impact in her program, because she could just say, well, you didn't create your manifestation strategy correctly, so that's why you never, that's not why it never happened. It wasn't because of what I was doing or not doing. It was because of all about you and this like random mystery statement from Napoleon Hill. And I was like, ugh, like that just made me not want to ever think about co-creating or manifesting ever again.
Yes. Well, I have considered teaching manifestation. I just want to add, and then I avoid the word. I really do. I avoid using the word with my clients.
Actually, co-creating with the universe or co-creating with the world around you. I actually prefer that to manifesting.
I do too. But I know Kelly has expressed something similar, that word is kind of,
So let's
You know,
talk about
but
that. Kelly,
it's a lot of people
why
that
is manifesting such a word?
Well, I actually don't have a problem with the word manifest. I do use it an awful lot, but I always kind of say manifest to co-create with the universe. I use it more as a phrase than a standalone word. I think when you do look at that word by itself, there is a lot of connotation that there's right and wrong associated with it, like what you just talked about. There's no right way to manifest. So even all those courses and all those ads that you see that say, let me show you the right way, there's not a right way, because there's not one way. What's going to work for you is not going to work for me, and it's not going to work for Michelle. But it's taking everything that I'm going to show you in this course, and even every time I think I have the course complete, I come across or I remember something else that I want to add into it. It's taking all the tools that you have access to and that you can research and find, and pulling them all together to work out a method that works for you individually. I'm going to share everything I have learned, and then you, when you attend, are going to pick the bits and pieces that actually work for you and make a connection to you. So when you just tell somebody to manifest, it's so abstract. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, do I dream? Do I just say affirmations every day? And affirmation is another word that I really am not thrilled with. But it's just so, manifesting can be so impersonal, and it has to be personal in order for it to work for you.
Can you give me an example of where it feels impersonal, and then we'll give an example of when it feels personal?
Yes, let me think. Impersonal manifestation is, I want my dream house.
Okay.
I will get my dream house. I'm going to manifest my dream house. Okay. But in order to make manifesting your dream house work for you, you need to really be clear about what your dream house is.
Okay.
Everything about it, from how it looks when you pull up into the driveway, if your dream house has a driveway, to how many bedrooms, the color of the walls, the layout of the kitchen, where your furniture is. You need to really live in your imagination in that dream house in order for you to manifest the dream house, because just saying the statement, I manifest my dream home, isn't going to work. It's too abstract. It's too out there. You have to find what you really want and be specific while also being open. It's a little complicated there. You have to be specific about what you really want. And those specifics is what's personal, because abundance to you is not the same as what abundance to me is.
That makes sense.
So it's just like that. When people try to manifest abundance, oh, I'm calling in abundance. I'm calling in abundance. Well, what does that really mean for you? Because if you're just saying abundance, well, guess what? I have an abundance of fat cells. So I'm calling in more fat cells. I got to be specific. I don't want an abundance of fat. I would like an abundance of cash. So you have to narrow it down, but be open to how it comes to you.
that's really connected to the nervous system.
Exactly.
What a good lead-in. Take that away, Michelle.
If you're attracting or just wanting to manifest or attract abundance, what you want in your conscious mind may not be what your nervous system is comfortable with. Your subconscious might be wired to create abundance of exactly what you have now. And you don't want more of that. You want something else. So that's typically what happens when people find like it's not working for them, or they keep getting stuck, or they keep getting the same thing, which feels like starting over, resetting, not making progress. So the nervous system is really the key to that, and recognizing when the nervous system might be resisting the very thing that the very abundance that you want. You really have to know, like Kelly said, what it is specifically that you want, and then recognize when there's an undercurrent of resistance and that it's coming from your nervous system and your subconscious.
And does like the nervous system come into play too with our ability to actually like know what we want to? Like, there's a tie-in in there?
Definitely. It can, especially if there's resistance or some dysregulation present, it's really hard to get that clarity, to focus in on the details and the specifics. And it might also seem like you're taking aligned action, but you could inadvertently be taking action that is not in alignment, which is essentially what self-sabotage is. It's not something that we do on purpose or that we're even aware of a lot of the time. But again, you're going to notice that because you're constantly in this cycle of repetitive feeling stuck, not making the progress. It's not happening. You're not manifesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I cover I'll be covering limiting beliefs in the workshop, how to identify them and ways to overcome and try to remove those limiting beliefs that you might have. Like a very, very common one is and this is used in a lot of examples. So if I said money is most people say the root of all evil, that is a limiting belief that you've placed on yourself based on, hearing it over and over and over again for your entire life. So it's ways to identify more personal limiting beliefs, but sometimes identifying those and working through them, like Michelle brings in the tangible part of it. Like, yes, again, you can say, oh, I have this limiting belief, but when you can put like a somatic exercise or working with your vagus nerve, did I say that right? Your vagus nerve, working with your vagus nerve with that limiting belief to clear it, it gives you something physical to hold on to and it makes it feel more real. And the more you can feel that it's real, the more likely you are to manifest it. I just thought I'd wrap that up there.
Yeah, no, that's great. This is awesome. So who is this workshop for? Who should be taking this workshop?
You should be taking this workshop if you have dreams and goals and wishes to co-create the life you specifically desire with the universe, and you have not achieved that yet. So if you have been saving for a new car and you just can't get the funds together and you don't know what the problem is, this workshop is for you. If you're not even sure what you want to manifest, this workshop is for you. Learn the basics, the foundations of manifestation, and be able to create whatever you want moving forward.
Awesome. And is there replays? Are we sending it out? Like if you can't make that time?
I usually do not do replays, but if you cannot make it next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, it is a virtual workshop, so you can attend from anywhere, get in your pajamas, get comfortable, get a glass of wine, a big bottle of water, whatever you want, and get cozy with us while we learn to manifest. If you can't make that and you do want to register, I will send out a replay.
Amazing.
I can do that.
Amazing. Is there anything else that we missed about talking about the workshop that you want to get in here?
I'm trying to think. Do we miss anything, Michelle? I think we covered so much of it. Yeah. It is an interactive workshop, so you won't just be listening to me talk nonstop for an hour and 10 minutes. There are exercises that we're going to do. You will not be forced to share with anyone. So, all of that kind of part is voluntary. You do not have to put your camera on, so you can just sit back, listen, do your exercises, learn to manifest. You don't even have to say a word. So it's it's great for the introverts and it's also good for the extroverts.
I love it. And if you're interested in finding more of Kelly's events, Kelly, where do they find you at?
They find me at thebohowitchery.com. I have an upcoming events page under Work With Me, and all of my upcoming events are listed there.
And what else have you got going on that people can work with you on? How do they work with you?
Every single month I hold a full moon ceremony where we honor Luna and we do a little witchy spell ritual around it. And I also hold monthly sacred circles. And the next one will be in February. I can't think of the date off the top of my head, but we're honoring our sacred selves. So it's all about self-care and self-love beyond manicures and pedicures.
I love that. And Michelle, tell us a little bit about you and how they find you.
Okay. You can find me at where my voice is, apparently somewhere else. You can find me at my website, michelleclinard.com. And that's probably kind of hard to spell. So You can find
Thankfully, we
me.
have it at the bottom. It's going currently. You guys can't see it, but it's currently going across the bottom.
Yay. And that will make it easier. And some upcoming events, other than guest speaking at Kelly's manifestation class, is a vagus nerve reset workshop where I'm going to teach 5 very simple ways to stimulate the vagus nerve to help reset, calm, and self-soothe, which is nervous system supporting. It supports regulation. It of course supports relaxation response and calming in the moment, especially when you're stressed out or overwhelmed. And those kind of practices are very much kind of like what we've been talking here. It's unique to the individual. What works? The reason I'm teaching 5 isn't because you have to do 5. It's because that gives you a little taste of 5 ways that you can try out and see what works for you. And that is coming up at I think that's the end of February. What else? Oh, and another workshop about getting emotions out of your body so that you're not carrying them around where they weigh you down. They dysregulate your nervous system. They take up all your space. So, space for connection, joy, showing up in the world the way that you want to. We all avoid our emotions as needed just to get through the day because we're all out there grinding and busy.
I would never do that. What are you talking about?
Me neither. Right.
I let my rage out all the time.
Me too. And I teach how not to, and I still have to do it because I'm a human being. It happens sometimes. So that's why I'm creating a monthly event where we can get together in a gentle, guided unburdening of emotions. So that's coming up. One other one that's coming up starting, I think in February, is a weekly self-care check-in, like a wellness self-care practice that I love to teach. It's a little somatic, it's a little energetic, it's very simple, but it has a big impact on well-being.
Amazing. Okay, now I'm gonna just take a moment and I'm gonna share things about these two that maybe they are not. I don't know why they haven't said this about themselves, but Kelly has a monthly membership called the Nebula, and that is where we come together as a community to create magic and ritual and intention. And it's one of the best parts of my month of the different things. Plus, you get access to all these classes and courses. So this workshop here right now is $111. You can basically go through and do Kelly's monthly workshops. But how much is the Nebula?
The Nebula is $133 a month or $11.97 a year, so you get a month free.
Yeah, and you don't not only get these workshops, but you get you get the full moon circle, you get intuitive readings, we get to practice our intuition all within a community. It is such an amazing opportunity if you're looking to really strengthen your intuition, really bring ritual and magic into your life. And it is for anyone out there. You don't have to be in business. You don't have to be, you can be doing your best life, and you can be in the Nebula. And Michelle has a self-healing membership also. And here's an interesting thing. I talk about community a lot, and it's not a big surprise because I have the Catalyst, which is a community for business owners. But Michelle is looking at self-healing in a different way. And one of the things that we looked at is that while self-healing has self in the title, it's really more powerful when you do it also in community or with someone else. So it is looking at how do you practice this? How do you bring more intention into your body as well and focus? But how do you do it with others around you? How do you do it with Michelle leading you? And so both of these folks have incredible memberships where you can actually be a part of all the cool stuff they're co-creating in the world monthly. And I want to make sure that you follow. They also both have really great YouTube channels, and they've been putting amazing content out. Kelly's is at the Boho Witchery, so YouTube / at the Boho Witchery, and Michelle's is at Michelle Clinard Intuitive. What did you change your YouTube to?
Oh no.
We'll link it in the YouTube video if you're watching this live. We'll have it in there. We'll also link it
at self-healing coach.
Oh, at self-healing healing coach. We changed it. She had like a whole bunch of numbers, and I was like, what is this random number thing? So we just changed it. That's why I didn't know it. But they are both have fantastic YouTube channels. And of course, they are both members of the Catalyst. So if you also are thinking about joining the Catalyst, you get to see these two all the time. They're in the room and they're working and co-creating. And, you know, if you're looking at this workshop and you're thinking, okay, I don't want to manifest, or I've seen all these manifests, I will tell you that being in the room with these two is something else. Both of them regularly contribute and bring a special kind of magic to our workrooms that we have never seen before. Having them in the room and lending what they do and their expertise and their own perspectives has really created an incredible shift in not just my life, but all of the members' lives who get to experience that. And this is something that we're going to be focusing on throughout the year. You're going to see me interviewing a lot more Catalyst members, because I want you to see what happens when business owners work together, when we focus on collaboration over competition. They could be both saying, hey, this is my audience and this is my audience. And they're coming together to create a workshop together that is going to be more powerful, more impactful, and more memorable. So these are things that I hope, if you're watching this and you are also a business owner, you start thinking about how this can work for you too, because it is possible. I love that you guys are doing this collaboration. I love that you're coming together. You're creating this opportunity to be in workshop together and share an audience and build an audience together. So congratulations, you two. Jazz hands.
Thank you. Yeah. I honestly feel that once I spoke to Michelle and, and we talked about how we could work together, at that point, I would have been doing my clients and my members and my audience a disservice by not opening my workshop up to include that aspect of it.
I really,
especially because I don't have any training or background in that particular area. So to just close off a whole area, a whole section of manifestation, just because it could be considered competition, that's a disservice to my clients and my audience. And
that's a testament to like
staying in that out there. Like you can't. Yeah.
That's fantastic, Kelly. That's a great point. I mean, why would you try to be an expert in everything when you have great collaborators who are available that can come in and bring their expertise and make your workshop even better? Like that's just that makes sense to me.
True. Yeah. That's why I reached out in the first place, because I really have, I think just about, I don't know, I want to say all, but probably 90% of my clients they're struggling in this way. They're struggling with manifesting, or they feel like they are, because there's so many stuck points and stumbling blocks in their process that, or they don't know what they should be, focusing on, that I've actually considered doing something similar to what Kelly's doing. But the truth is, I would rather stay in my lane. I would rather do what I'm doing. And as soon as Kelly presented this, I mean, there was no doubt, like, this is what my people need. They need someone who has a similar approach, practical, not a one size fits all. And that's going to just give it to them real and not make them feel bad for what they are or aren't doing. So it was a no-brainer for me to work with Kelly.
Me too.
I love it, you guys. Well, congratulations. The workshop is next Monday, right? Is it next Monday? No, Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday, January 28th from 7:00 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's Eastern. So 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, just to give you a few other time zones. And it is available. And I imagine, Kelly, you're doing it in one of your live Go Brunch rooms like we're in right here.
Yep. I am doing it in my Go Brunch Witchy Workshop room. So you're going to be up in the attic turret learning how to manifest.
Turreting. Oh, I love it. And I will say, if you've never experienced these rooms before, they provide a really different experience. It's not Zoom. It is, you literally come into something that feels comfy and cozy, and that really like look at the stage. Like, we're in late night talk show in the middle of the day on a Monday, but like, it really does help you create that experience. And you don't have to be we're on camera, but you don't have to be. You can have your camera turned off You can have your audio turn off. You can even participate in chat. And I know that Kelly knows how to create that level of accessibility for what people need. So if you are interested in it, I'll put up the link again. Just make sure that I'm putting it on the bottom here. Oh, I do have it down the bottom. Oh, I'm already on it. So look on the bottom of the screen. It says join the workshop. It is lu.ma/20GLM54N. Or if that was really complicated, I did put the link up here it's on our calendar as well. So it's lu.ma/create the rules. Luma, lu.ma/create the rules. You can scroll down next week and see Kelly's workshop and join from there. Absolutely. And of course, Kelly, what happens if they want to join the Nebula after this workshop? Do you have an easy way for them to just bump up their membership?
Yeah, if they want to join the Nebula after that, I'll obviously have a link in the workshop, or you can go directly to my website at thebohowitchery.com, and there is across the menu something called the Nebula. You can click right on there and join right from there.
Fantastic. So there's a great way to get a taste of what Kelly's been offering in the Nebula. And I know that Michelle will have more information about joining her membership after the workshop as well. And if you have any questions, please do contact these people. We'll put their links and we'll tag them in all the comments afterwards. But I do hope that you do contact these folks and see what they're all about. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Wow, we had a whole bunch of live people watching us. So thanks very much. We will be doing more talk shows like this. I'll give everybody some heads up next time so you can put it in. But this was just something we were like, let's just go live on Monday, as one does.
This is my first live, so I'm glad it went well.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of people watching right now, so this is really great across all of our platforms. So wherever you're watching, do leave a comment below. If you're on LinkedIn or you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, post that comment below. Let us know how you like this and what other topics you hope we are covering on Create Your Rules Live. Thank you both for being here. I can't wait to see your workshop next week. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.